I've made no secret of the fact that Civ 7 has forced me to question my loyalties. For decades, I remained a devotee of just one game, Civilization. After my disappointment with the rushed state of Civ 7, I was turned onto other 4X Civ-like games, including Old World. During interactions with the wider Civ community, I found that everyone loves to discuss their favorite game in the franchise. In so doing, I always became nostalgic thinking back to the days of Civ 4, which I spent hours playing in my 20s on the first PC that I ever bought myself with the money I saved from my summer jobs. In university, the struggle was real. Study for exams or fire up a game of Civ. After a long, boring day at a mind-numbing job, Civ could make me feel alive. Even when I started working for myself and traded my PC for a MacBook Pro, I found a cracked copy of Beyond the Sword so I could keep playing. And I kept playing way up until 2016 when Civ 6 was finally available, ported to Mac machines through Aspire. Civ 6 admittedly replaced Civ 4. And when Mac OSs stopped supporting 32-bit applications, it meant that I no longer owned a machine that could run Civ 4. I got really into Civ 6, so I effectively said goodbye to Civ 4 as a once-upon-a-time game. Fast forward to the present, and I found myself yearning to relive that old feeling. Civ 4 was still available through Steam, and you could get it for Mac, but they warned that it would be incompatible with new machines. It's 2025, and Parallels Desktop has been running Windows on Mac machines for well over a decade. Though I had had poor experiences running virtual machines on some of my older Macs that made me hesitant to go that road, I realized that this is also the era of ChatGPT. It knows all. Perhaps, before the machines eliminate us, I could find a way to coax at least one of them into explaining to me how I could get Civ 4 running on my Mac. The fact that the entire Civ 4 Complete goes on sale at the start of every month for an absurd $6 made it a no-brainer to buy the PC version and hope that I could figure this out. Welcome to Civilization Stories, where we examine alternatives to history through the lens of the world's most addictive video game. I ran a number of prompts by ChatGPT. AI loves to stay positive and always reminds you that, yes, it is possible. But every time I tried to follow its instructions, some parameter had changed or I ran into some hurdle that it could not account for. This was all happening while I was out in the woods too, and starved for a stable internet connection. While I was at the fasting center, I had to put this adventure to the side. But once I returned to Civilization, pun intended, I decided to give it another try. And wouldn't you know it? Fuck, it worked!
Just hook it to my veins!
It wasn't perfect, it wasn't running Beyond the Sword, but it was running Civ 4. Again, ChatGPT to the rescue. Rejig a file here, a file there, and boom! I was playing Civ 4 the whole enchilada. I couldn't believe it. I remember loving the Byzantine cataphract unit that replaces the knight. It's mobile and gets a strength bonus 12 versus the knight's base strength of 10, so I decided to play as Byzantium. I tried to play on Monarch difficulty and had some false starts. I eventually got a real good game going on Prince. I took out my nearest neighbor, Ethiopia, until they had just one island city I was too lazy to take over, so they became my vassal. Remember those? When it was time to take on my rivals across the oceans, I attacked England since they were kind of bottom of the pile. Then it was Japan and the Aztecs' turn. After that, it was time to take on the Native Americans. Eventually, all of them became vassals of Spain for protection. Even at this point, I was close to winning by the domination victory condition, but Spain were a strong empire and were more advanced than me for the entire game. I threw all of my eggs in one basket and went for the domination victory, but Spain and its vassals' combined strength were a tough nut to crack. A 4-hour session broke my hard drive and the recording quit, so I have no footage of the end of the game. But Isabella and Spain did reach space before I could conquer their land militarily. I lost, and yeah, Prince difficulty only, but oh my god, so much fun. So a little about Civ 4 for the uninitiated. First, games of Civ used to be hard. I mean, really hard. I've gotten so used to modern Civ where I almost believe I can play through and not lose a single unit. Not Civ 4, no chance. In Civ 4, battles are all or nothing, unless you have a mounted unit that has a retreat chance. Some units you have to throw at the pile knowing you're going to lose them just to whittle down their stack. And the AI competes like it's actually trying. If you attack it, its counteroffensives carry real weight. They'll throw the kitchen sink at you and won't back down. In negotiations, they are stingy as hell. You kind of need to broker technologies to stay in the game, but you have to expect to take a loss every time you do, and it's advisable to spend a while researching a deep tech no one is likely to have, just so you can trade it for a stack of earlier techs. A warrior has a strength of 2. That's right, 2, not 10. So when there's an elephant, strength 8, charging him down, that elephant is 4 times stronger than the warrior. But the warrior can win occasionally. And it's great when it's you that wins that battle, a restartable offense if it's the other way around. Anyway, there are some really cool technologies, units, wonders, and a whole other host of game mechanics in Civ 4 that are so smart that it's sad that some of them seem almost lost to history at this point. So let's discuss a few. First, great people exist. If you've played Civ 7, you may say, but Husky, great people are included in Civ 7. No, don't do that. They are not. A great person exclusive to a single civilization is a civilian unit, not a great person. The great thing about great people in Civ 4, they're impactful as hell. The other thing about them, you earn them based on what you do, not what you research. This is most evident in great generals who spawn based on numerous factors, but the most important being they spawn because of battles initiated by the user. This is leaps ahead of modern Civ games, even my beloved 6, where great generals are essentially researched, not earned. In Civ 4, every battle you participate in gets you closer to earning a great general, and that's how it should be, not because you've constructed more barracks or have a policy card slotted. Wonders mean something. Stonehenge acts as a free monument in all of your cities. I dare not calculate the production savings or the amount of total culture that can provide your cities over the course of a game. The Great Wall makes it impossible for barbarians to enter your territory. One less thing to worry about. Stone and marble can hasten the production of valuable early game wonders, making them a precious early resource worth fighting over. One of those wonders that gets a production boost from marble is the Apostolic Palace that grants 2 hammers to religious buildings of your state religion. The effect empire-wide from this bonus can change a player's fortune in the game. It's not strictly ornamental or part of a checklist. Resources become so important. Elephant units can only be built if players have access to elephants, which are scarce, and the elephant unit is one of those units that can give a player a huge power spike. But again, you might have to fight for the privilege. Religions are also scarce. They are useful, but you can still win without them. You can found many religions and pursue all of the bonuses that doing so entails if you want, or choose a different path. Besides these specifics, there are also general concepts that are lost now that make the game so damn fun. Starts are imbalanced just based on who you decide to play as. Depending on your starting civ, you start with 2 technologies from the early stage of the tech tree. For example, Germany starts with mining and hunting, but Arabia starts with mysticism and the wheel. Each will have to research those techs that the other just starts with. Just this difference puts these rivals on completely different paths while both are heading to the same goal. The big difference is deciding on how to get there. The leader traits also make how you play completely unique, even if your own traits are more felt than your opponents. There are also some amazing leaders that I miss from later civs: Franklin Roosevelt, Charles de Gaulle, and Stalin, to name just a few. The game even has a government civic called slavery. Developers of Civ 4 understood that not all aspects of human history have aged like fine wine, but they are still aspects of history that played a major role in shaping the world today. They weren't shy about including them, no matter how icky it might feel to fess up to the fact that that's what humans do. And oh my god, the slider! When did we lose the slider? Why did we lose the slider? I think the slider is now symbolic of a game design philosophy that Civ has lost, and that is that what makes a compelling game is one that is based on a series not of decisions, but of trade-offs. The slider is a constant reminder to balance your science and your economic output. It is quite literally impossible to max out both. You want to add to one, you have to take from the other. Whether you hate stacks or you hate 1 unit per tile, combat is still combat. You can't win the game if you do nothing. It's just a mechanism in the game. We have towns now in Civ 7. It's a beautiful concept, even if it's clunky in execution, but workers in Civ 4 can construct cottages that grow into hamlets that then become towns. And they're strong as hell, and you have to invest in them for them to grow. Somehow it's simpler, but it's great. You're never at war and thinking to yourself, bah, the AI just doesn't know how to use naval or air power. The AI is not shy about hitting you from all sides, countering your offense with comparable defensive units and bombarding your towns, cities, and stacks from land, sea, and air. Oh, and if you think leaders not being restricted to their assigned civilizations is cool, well, Civ 4 did it first and did it better than Civ 7. When you meet a new leader and it's Civ, you know right away who you're dealing with. No guesswork, a dash of surprise, and then you move on. Roosevelt will be leader of the Mali for the duration of the game. So, if you love Civ and are looking for a new and better Civ game to play an old Civ game. Civ 4 will always get my endorsement. It is still one of the most compelling, challenging, and well-balanced games that forces players to examine deeply the trade-offs necessary to get over the line and win a game. Even the snowball is mitigated. You gotta try it to find out. Oh, and if you use a newer Mac and think to yourself, Husky, how does this help? I got you covered. There is a handy tool called Porting Kit. It's free. Download it. It connects directly to Steam. You can actually buy games directly from there, I think. My advice, or the way I did it, was to buy the game from GOG or GOG and download the offline installer. Once it's downloaded, don't install it. Run the install through Porting Kit and tell it that you have the offline files. Porting Kit will do what it does, but you'll need a stable internet connection. It will update the latest wineskin and create one just for your game. You then need to launch the game inside Porting Kit. Porting Kit launches only the base game. You'll need to point Porting Kit to the exe file for Beyond the Sword. Click on the gear icon of the game and choose Open C Drive. Go to GOG Games and then navigate to the exe file for Beyond the Sword. Right click and open with Porting Kit and you're good to go. Hopefully you love Civ 4. And if you loved it once upon a time, hopefully this video convinces you to try it again. Sorry if you lose sleep because of me. No, sorry, not sorry. Thanks for watching, and remember to keep playing and making your own civilization story, your own amazing path through history, and I'll see you next time.